One Zambia, One Nation, thank you so much for joining us on the news desk. We are coming to you from the Mass Media Complex in Lusaka. Here are the top stories. President Hichilema calls for Lobito Corridor project success. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali calls for establishment of infrastructure that supports trade. Lumwana Kambimba Road project to commence this year. And Mwape names 30-member provisional squad for Ghana clash. With the news in detail, my name is Amos Zulu. President Hakainde Hichilema says there is need for strong collaboration among Angola, Zambia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, to ensure that the Lobito Corridor Development Project is a success. President Hichilema says if well managed, the corridor has the potential to spur unprecedented economic growth for the three countries. The president said this when he officiated at the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment Lobito Corridor Private Sector Investment Forum in Chongwe. More in the following report.
Following the signing of the development of the Lobito Corridor and the new Zambia-Lobito railway line last year, aimed at enhancing trade between Angola, Congo DR and Zambia, a Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment Lobito Corridor Private Sector Investment Forum has opened to discuss potential investments towards the development of the corridor. President Hakainde Hichilema officiated at the event being held in Chongwe.
Should work in a way that even if other things change in 12 months from now, no one will change anything other than making this project better than taking away from this project. So which means we must sign all that we need to sign, bind ourselves, get the private sector on board, capital mobilization, technical aspects, and indeed a buy-in from our communities. In the three countries, luckily, these three countries are members of SADC. Luckily. But we will utilize all of those platforms to get this project stitched to a level that no one can pull it apart. See joint ventures which will lead to vested interests. Angolan, a business that involves Angolans, DRC and Zambian business people working together on one project, one investment, one component.
The United States government said the event has been organized to spur more private sector investment that can grow and strengthen the Lobito Corridor.
With the AFC as the private sector lead developing the project, we aim to break ground in 2026, have an operational rail between eastern Angola across all of northwestern Zambia before 2028, demonstrating that focused public investment can unlock and deliver private sector-led strategies and infrastructure projects investments in a timely manner in challenging frontier markets as well as anywhere in the world.
The African financial players want to conclude the development of the project in the next 24 months for Africa's economic prosperity and ambition.
The vision of all the the 7 consortium partners is one in which we need to move with speed. And together, we must find a way to accelerate development on this, to get to bankability, and to start construction within 24 months of the development.
Where we have committed nearly 180 million in food security, energy, and financial inclusion, and we are just getting started. This will depend, scaling our investments will depend on our working together with many of you in this room and across the public and private sectors, including with our co-hosts today, the African Finance Corporation, or AFC.
The Lobito Corridor and the new Zambia-Lobito Corridor railway line has the potential to generate significant economic benefits for Zambians by upgrading critical infrastructure, expanding export possibilities, boosting the regional circulation of goods, and promoting job creation. Bupesendo for Zanis News.
And government says the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment Lobito Corridor Private Sector Investment Forum is a game changer for Zambia. Minister of Transport and Logistics, Frank Tayali, says there is need to establish infrastructure that will benefit Zambia in the promotion of trade through a regional network. Shilika Chulu reports that Mr. Tayali was speaking on the sidelines of the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment Lobito Corridor Private Sector Investment Forum in Chongwe.
About 250 business executives, investors, and financiers have gathered at the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment Lobito Corridor Private Sector Investment Forum being held in Chongwe. Minister of Transport and Logistics, Frank Tayali, says there is need to establish infrastructure that will benefit Zambia in the promotion of trade through a regional network.
We need to improve the infrastructure in our country, particularly infrastructure that will benefit this country in terms of promotion of trade. And obviously what has happened is that the Lobito corridor is one such corridor that we hope as a government will be a game changer in terms of opening up particularly the northwestern province.
Angola's Minister of Transport, Ricardo de Abreu, also weighed in on the expected benefits of the forum.
The relevance of Lobito Corridor is the impact to our own countries in job creation, in sustainability, food security, energy security as well. And therefore we are very, very happy to see the interest of the global players, private sector as well, in engaging with us. Together with Zambia and DRC, we established and signed the three-party agreement for the establishment of the agency in Lobito for transport and logistics facilitation.
And the business community stands ready to harness the opportunities that will come with the development of the Lobito corridor.
For the business community, I think the opportunities that this will present on the construction phase, right, investment into some parts of the project, in terms of enhancing trade regionally and internationally, cannot be understated. And definitely when you look at the vision that has been laid out for making sure that Zambia is part of this railway connection to the port of Lobito is very, very important.
Shilika Chava for Zanis in Chongwe.
In other news, Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu has directed Lunte Town Council to speed up the procurement of desks in the district in order to address the desk deficit. Mr. Mpundu, who visited Chilubi Primary School in Lunte, says the school only has 8 school desks against the population of 233 pupils. Sylvia Zulu has more in this report.
Chilubi Primary School in Lampa District is facing a serious shortage of desks. The school has 8 desks, catering for 233 pupils. Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu visited the school and called on Lunte Town Council to work together with the District Education Board to ensure the school is supplied with desks under the next procurement.
The school is dilapidated. There's nothing to write about, and that is sad. Because we want every child to participate, every child to go to school, every child to achieve their dreams. And you can only achieve your dreams if you are given all the necessities to make you achieve that goal. And in this particular case, the necessity is education. And if it is education, therefore, the infrastructure for education must be attended to. That's why you have seen out of this CDF, there is a huge component for education. We are building schools, classroom blocks, we are increasing the classroom space, we are also providing desks.
Acting Lunte Council Secretary Macleans Mdenda says the local authority has budgeted over 6.6 million for the desks.
Under 2023 plan, we are trying to procure 4,000 desks, to which contractors have been engaged and contracts have been signed. For the distribution, once these desks are procured, we are going to engage the DEBS, who is going to identify the schools and distribute to them.
Lampa District Education Board had this to say on the matter.
I'm happy as given instruction to both Ministry of Education and the local government that to ensure that the children, they must be given the first priority of of the desks so that the consignment which have been made, at least if 60 desks can be taken to that school, that will make him happy.
Reporting for Zanis, Sylvia Zulu in Lampa District.
In agriculture news, Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa says the $20 million United States soil mapping for resilient agri-food systems in the province will supplement government efforts aimed at addressing the challenges of low yields and poor soil fertility in the province. Mr. Akapelwa said this when a delegation from the Food and Agriculture Organization and Ministry of Agriculture officials paid a courtesy call on him at his office. The Permanent Secretary has since praised the Food and Agriculture Organization and the Ministry of Agriculture officials for implementing the 4-year project.
Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa has praised the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and the Ministry of Agriculture officials for launching a 4-year $20 million for soil mapping project in Western Province. Mr. Akapelwa said this when a team of FAO and the Ministry of Agriculture officials paid a courtesy call on him.
It's a great move. We really appreciate it. Here in Western Province, we want fertilizer which is better suited for rice, for example, because where rice is grown is not the same as where maize is grown. So you need a different type of fertilizer. Parts of our province, you are just forcing them to grow maize, and you have made them get used to growing maize. So FISIP is standard. The soils are different, the rain patterns are different, and the maize may not do very well there, but now you have forced the people to believe maize is the answer.
Winamsa Nakelwa is Western Province Food and Agriculture Organization representative.
The SOFO project aims to address the low soil fertility and productivity challenges that we have here in Zambia, and it will base its implementation on the detailed soil maps that will be collected from the different parts of Zambia. These detailed maps will guide the national policy incentives, support for specific value chains along production in agriculture. The project is also very much aligned with the country programming framework, specifically better environment and better production, in some sense better nutrition and better life. It's also very much aligned to the 8th National Development Plan, specifically under economic empowerment and job creation pillar.
And Louis Chikopela, Principal Agriculture Officer, said the project sits well following President Hakainde Hichilema's directive of enhancing food security in the country.
This whole project sits in very well with the presidential directive. And the presidential directive is that we should produce 10 million metric tons of maize, and 1 million metric tons of soybeans, and 1 million metric tons of wheat. So to unlock this potential that we have as a country, several interventions have been put in place. Around mechanization, we've heard there's a strong thrust towards mechanization, irrigation, also support to irrigation, and also the current credit window that we have, which seemingly is also complementing the FISIP. The management should start by understanding what is in the soil, so that the issues of liming and fertilization are informed by empirical evidence or data of what is inherent in the soil. So we feel this will ultimately lead to the target that we've been given as a ministry.
Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, has partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture through the Zambia Research Institute, ZARI, to develop and implement soil mapping aimed at addressing the challenges of low yields and poor soil fertility in the province. Darlington Kawambe reporting in Mango District, Western Province.
Still in agriculture news, Kafue District Commissioner Cosmas Mwaya says the district is on course to eradicate the cassava brown streak disease that had ravaged many fields. Mr. Mwaya says the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit last year provided disease-free cuttings which have helped to fight the disease.
The cassava brown streak disease has been causing serious damage to the cassava crop in Kaputa and the surrounding districts. However, government, through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, working with the Zambia Agricultural Research Institute ZARI, has provided farmers with disease-free cassava cuttings. This has elated Kaputa District Commissioner Cosmas Mwaya, who visited some cassava fields in Nkafika village in Kaputa District.
We had distributed these cuttings way back, that is last year in February, and just after a year or so, 12 months, we have a field looking like this. As government, we want to empower the people, and then they need to contribute to the economic transformation. What do we mean by that? We want to link these farmers in the district to the market centers.
The Zambia Agricultural Research Institute is confident that the disease will be eradicated and farmers will experience better yields.
We have come here and we were looking at the varieties that were distributed to the farmers. In Kaputa, we distributed to 500 farmers with disease-free cassava planting materials. Each farmer was getting 8 bundles that will fit a lima of a field. So we've dug the roots and we'll void them. These roots, they are giving us on average per plant over 4 kgs. Now when you get 4 kgs per plant, that is translated into 40 tons per hectare. So already we are seeing a farmer who's getting 40 tons per hectare.
And beneficiary farmers are happy with the crop and are hopeful that food security and household income will increase.
So really what would they alebora mukati chakobati mwaimba kiteta alebora. So uteko balisa vimbamu bamona tawo really what to do. Wala sana. So uteko balisa vimbamo balete mikonkolo. So tutashirelima. So tute taikweta marweli ngaramona tutirifiya waitu mukati so tuleta sana kubuteko na butoafa kuno kwa Kaputa.
Raymond Chalata reporting for Zanis in Kaputa District, Northern Province.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. We take our first break. We have more news after that.
Kolera wapa msongo muka. Kolera wapa msongo wa kuichisa. Mutu alina msongo wa kolera echikuichisa nga chikuma na kusaza nawa. Bize vipi mwaichisa mutu na vipoya meya nge msoji wa loso. Mubeji echikuzia nga chikuma mujimba muomo ya kufumisa meya a mujimba. Mubeji nawa na hase kufa mujiwola li 12 hours ngeka wechi kumuhana vitumbo vya kumuka wa shiko. Unahase nga chili kwachi wa kumsongo wa kolera kuhichila mkuna meya kuwa na kuhaka vitumbo nawa aze ali na majilo. Kulia vyakulya na mawoko aze ali na majilo chipwe kuzachisa malonga na jindeho ja kukosa na meya majilo akuhona kuhaka vitumbo. Kulia vyakulya vyakuhona kufika vize vana wili kubajiji. Kulia vyakulya vituta vize kabatumbikanga kana wako. Kulia vyakulya vize vana kulandulula mikwakwa. Na kulia na wamihako na makovu ako na kukosa kanawa. Tunahasenga chili kulikinga kumusongo wa kolera. Telekenu meya enu akunwa chipwe kuhaka mo vitumbo vya chlorine. Sanenu kumawoko enu na sopo chipwe na meya kuhaka vitumbo hanyima ya kuzaisa chimbusho. Zumisenu vyakulya vyenu shimbukanda mubilie. Fwikenu havyakulya vyenu vyosena kuchina kuviwila kubajiji. Kanda kulya vyakulya vyakulanda mumikwa kwa nduma. Zachisenu chimbusho lwalo sena. Kahakanda kuzachisa ndundu chipwe mapepa andundu hakuya na kulihehwa nduma. Mwatela kumona ngwenu vipi yosena munavitapwila mchimbusho. Chimbusho chanu nawa chatela kupwa cha unyoji kahanawa cha kufika lwalo sena. Mujimbu uno vanamnehela wakuli vakachanda chatala kulikangula cha meno ya watu cha Ministry of Health.
Still in the news, the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock through the Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project in Lampa District is supporting 27 fish farmers. Lampa District Commissioner Alfred Mandumbwa said this when he witnessed the stocking of fish fingerlings at Mihoji demonstration fish ponds. Jolwe Himambo has the details.
In an effort to boost fish farming in Lampa District, the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock through the Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project is supporting 27 farmers in fish farming. This initiative aims to empower the community and contribute to the overall development of the aquaculture sector in the district. Witnessing the stocking of fingerlings in the Mihoji demo ponds, Lampa District Commissioner Alfred Mandumbwa advised the farmers to give utmost importance to the project.
Chili chiwilina kulinga mubuso wenu kutonda kweseka kufumisa abantu mu buhutu keti tulinge liso lyalila nawa twawana habuputukilo keti ngocho bakanana bachiboko bekwandika ngo chizunda kumusahatemo kumuweza ika.
The Department of Fisheries and Livestock is encouraging farmers to consider aquaculture as a viable business opportunity.
There are 9,000 fingerlings which have been stocked in this fish pond. So you can see that here we don't have big rivers where we can catch fish, but the government is there to bring the fish near to the community, meaning that even those citizens who are living far away from the Zambezi River, they are able to get fish through fish farming.
We've stocked this fish, and we are encouraging farmers to take agriculture as a business. Therefore, we expect our farmers to grow the fish to the market size so that we can have sustainability in the program of fish farming.
Farmers are happy with the project.
Hamuka hana bubuso wetu ouliho. Bimuna pange kuli yetu. Ikyo first kumwende bimwe byakufanangana. Fish pond tuchikwegwa kuba kwetu ngwakatuma ma fish pond. Kuli yetu ebitekanda bituhetere. Kaha mukyo matu amanga mavu na kutuyongola na kutupira keke. Hakututala kulila chetu na uhutu wetu. Natu balinga ngachili aba twentu bafunise ko muhutu. Mukimo lelo matunehelevi omuna binehe na wabatu.
I am Jolwe Himambo, reporting for Zanis in Lampa District, Western Province.
And now one of the stories making headlines in our news. Rankin Engineering, the consultant for the Lumwana Kambimba Top Road project, says the project is scheduled to commence preliminary works in the third quarter of 2024. The construction of the 88-kilometer road, border post, and toll plaza is estimated to be completed in 2 years. Here is a report.
$130 million is the estimated cost for the construction of the Lumwana West to Kambimba Border Road project in Mwenilunga District. Project consultant Rankin Engineering is on the ground for scoping meetings with stakeholders and host communities. In Lumwana West community, residents want the road constructed near existing public infrastructure and settlements.
Situnatina mkwako unenyilira akabombu na iti kumusuru ya kaundu. Amavulu atatsikazeko yana kuteta mapuroti baramena mkwako. Dikutena kwa nao ina shikora inakufwa.
Mkwako mwoleti kukono hakona osinyikana. We are not going to displace anyone there. Kana hakona ya mtu yana.
Issues of deforestation include other concerns among residents here.
Itondo ya ifolo idikono. Hamudine to pull over mkwako. Meaning, tunakwela wanyi contribute to climate change and deforestation.
Nikosi Shekano is environmental engineer at Rankin Consultants.
We try to balance the benefit to the people and also the cost, because if we spend more than half of the money compensating people, it means that the road will not go ahead. So in most villages, it will just be maybe 200 or 300 meters behind.
District Commissioner Harrison Kamuna assures Lumwana residents of government's resolve to construct the road.
August, or if they are fast, even before August, they can come on site. Where they want to put the road can not stop us. Lumwana will change. Even here, you can even have an airport here because of a lot of businesses that are coming.
Sandstone Consortium are the concessionaires of the road project, using a public-private partnership arrangement with preliminary work set to commence in the third quarter of 2024. Reporting for Zanis, Obed Dilijim in Mwenilunga District, Northwestern Province.
Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has directed millers on the Copperbelt to desist from selling their mealie meal around the border areas. Mr. Matambo says this is to curtail the rampant smuggling of the commodity. The minister was speaking in Ndola when he held a meeting with all district commissioners and millers.
In order for the government to control smuggling of mealie meal in the border areas of the Copperbelt Province, Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has directed all millers in the province to stop selling mealie meal around all the border areas.
This is just a build-up on what the Information Minister said in Kasumbalesa 2 days ago, that millers all over the country, and in particular Copperbelt Province, have been given a leeway to take their mealie meal to all the districts, but this mealie meal should only be taken to town places.
The minister, who held a meeting at Cabinet Office in Ndola District, said that only Zambia National Service and Zambia Correctional Service will be allowed to sell the commodity in the border areas.
But places which are calling hotspots, like the border areas, which includes Kasumbalesa, Konkola, Mokambo, Sakanya, and any other area which is considered as a border area, Zambia National Service, ZNS, and Correction Service will continue selling mealie meal in those places.
Meanwhile, Millers Association of Zambia has appreciated government's effort in curbing smuggling in the border areas.
We would like to thank His Excellency the President and the Honorable Minister for the efforts that are being made to ensure that there is free movement of mealie meal and free trade to millers. We look forward to making more positive steps to ensure that there is more free trade.
And Lufwanyama District Commissioner has appealed to the millers to consider building a milling plant in his district.
Of all these millers, none of them has an outlet or maybe a milling plant in my district. So I just wanted to appeal that maybe if they can, through the president, maybe if some of these can establish their milling plants in my district.
Jacqueline Moba, Zanis, Ndola.
Still in the news, the National Union for Public and Private Educators in Zambia, NUPE, says there is need for the introduction of policies that will enhance afforestation in schools. NUPE's president, Victor Muyumba, says both private and public schools should have a policy that will compel them to have no bare land within their premises to promote tree planting and conservation of nature. Mr. Muyumba has also noted that learners need to be educated on the importance of nature at an early age for the good of the country. He was speaking in an interview with Zanis in Lusaka during the launch of the provincial tree planting exercise.
We have depleted our trees. Our forests are being depleted at a very fast rate, whilst there is no one out there that is planting trees. So our message to the schools, both public and private, is that we need to have a policy. Each and every school should have a policy of ensuring that it's not bare. There's no bare land in that particular school, and all areas that should have trees must have trees. This should be a policy the same way we have had a policy to do with HIV/AIDS. This is the same policy we must have. Children as young as grade 1 must understand the importance of planting a tree. Let them plant those trees, and to motivate them, can songs be done about preservation of nature and the planting of trees.
To address issues of maternal-related deaths, government is constructing a maternity annex at Chinsanka Rural Health Center in Lampa District in Luapula Province. The maternity annex is being constructed at a cost of 800,000 kwacha using the Constituency Development Fund. Take a look at this report.
In order to increase access to quality maternal health services, government is constructing a maternity annex at Chinsanka Rural Health Center in Lampa District. Lampa District Health Director Kadson Kafue has inspected the facility and says once completed, cases of maternal deaths and home deliveries will reduce.
We have quite a number of projects with regards to maternal health that have been undertaken in the district, and I know that will reduce maternal death. The issue of home delivery and community delivery, I think that will address that. So with the coming of this Maternity Annex, it's close to the people of Chinsanka, and I'm pretty sure they are very happy. So what we want to make sure that those risky mothers that are at high risk, of obstetric complication are attended to, are admitted, and reviewed on a daily basis. This will reduce on the maternal death that the country has been recording.
Lampa Town Council Chairperson James Kapilila was part of the team that inspected the construction of the Maternity Annex.
At Lampa, we're constructing 4 health facilities across the district, plus this Maternity Annex. This facility here will be taking care at a go of about 15 mothers. If you look at the facility that we have, it's too congested. So with a standalone Maternity Annex, we expect that service delivery will be enhanced, and that for me gives me a lot of hope that those challenges that we used to have, where mothers sometimes would shun coming for antenatal, mothers would come for delivery at the facility, are going to be a long gone thing.
Residents in the area are happy that government is addressing their needs, and the construction of a Maternity Annex will ensure easy access to maternal health needs.
Bana mai ba kuchinsanga tuletera obutegwe fo bubombere pamulandi batukulira kule bei kulu ya kuchikuli umuchinshere kuli kwa busaka
uyu murimo wesu bayimyoku wakutukulira mkwai leba wadi kona tulefa mkwai bwangu fyanyo kutupuisha ko mkwai tachire moneka bwino abantu abalwele pamupene kuli nabalepa apo kukwine.
Chava reporting for Zanis News in Lampa District in Lampa Province.
We take our last break. We have more news, including sports. Stay tuned.
Kanti kolera kibutuku manyim. Kolera kibutuku wakusululamu. Muti ya nani butuku wakolera utasulula ni kutazamu. Muti ya kula butuku wakolera usulula meza mfutasi na araisi aya kwa mutabanimu. Mukuliyo ukato kwa mezi mwamubili bakengisa kufufulelwamu. Mukuliyo ukona kutimela mwahala lihola zeli shumi kazepeli haiva asafumanili kalafo zambuwamu. Mutu ukona kuyambula chwani butuku wakoreramu. Kunwa mezi aska keniswa kapa kunwa mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho ni mazo atezi masila kapa kuitusali apiso zetapisizwe ni mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho zesika kwaelwa ni kuselezwa kwa linzinzimu. Kuchalicho zelobezi ilizeo alisikabukelezwa handem. Kuchalicho zelekisiwa mama kululum. Kuchalitolwana manicholo ni mulo zesika tapiswamu. Luko na chwani kuiselezwa kwa butuku wakoreramu. Kuvilisa mezi akunwa kapa kuvea mwateni chlorine. Mfutuma zelicho zamina pili musikali chakalem. Mukwaele licho zamina kaufela kuliseleza kwa linzinzimu. Muske mwa chalicho za mama kululum. Mwitu sekali mbalimba nako kaufela, muske mwa itusa bikopo kapa mapepa amuyumba zemasilamu. Mubone kuli mutabani wala telwa mwakali mbalimbamu. Mubone kuli kalimbalimba kamina kakenile nako kaufela manichwalo ni kukwaelwamu. Lingosale litakumina kuzwa kubalikolo la maketemu.
Also in the news, Chavuma District Commissioner Geoffrey Kasonda has disputed claims making rounds on social media and other sections of society, stating that the selection process of the just-ended teacher recruitment was biased. Mr. Kasonda clarified that government allocated 35 slots for teachers to be recruited in the area, of which out of 624 applicants, most applicants did not meet the required qualifications according to the selection guidelines.
In a significant development for the Zambian education sector, the recruitment process overseen by the Teaching Service Commission adhered to a stringent and transparent methodology. with the Ministry of Education prioritizing recruitment of secondary school teachers specializing in mathematics, science, business studies, ICT, and Zambian languages.
We received about 624 applicants. The government of Zambia, the Ministry of Education, they allocated 35 slots for the district. And when we were given this mandate, we also given instruction to follow. When we reached about on the early childhood, the F, those with certificate, when we looked around our district, Kafue, moreover, some of our brothers and sisters did not meet the requirement, and it was difficult for us to push them.
District Education Board Secretary Sylvester Lumbwe highlights the rationale behind the teacher recruitment exercise.
The problem that you have is, why are we topping in terms of these other people whose names sound not to be coming from Northwestern Province? The degrees that we wanted in these subject areas that we have mentioned, from Chavuma, the next district is Zambezi. No one applied to Chavuma. From Chavuma to Solwezi up to Ikeleng, no one had a degree in mathematics. You can challenge me. How many of you? On the list, when you check a list of primary diploma holders, 3/4 of the people are from this land. They are not from here, they are from Northwestern Province, because government is saying one.
Meanwhile, stakeholders have this to say.
Then, going to primary diploma, the DEP said most of the slots were given to Chavuma residents. But if you go on that list, most of the names are for those who are not even members of Chavuma.
Boy from Sewe here who did mathematics and RI. Regime was Mona Collins, a degree holder. We are really disappointed with what has actually happened.
Left where we don't have people, which have reported nil.
Josephine Banda reporting for Zanis, Chavuma District in Northwestern Province.
The Ministry of Health in Chavuma District in Northwestern Province says no cholera case has been recorded in the area in the past 24 hours. Speaking during a weekly cholera update, Acting District Health Director Naweji Kangasa says all cholera patients are stable and discharged last week. Dr. Kangasa has thanked government heads of department for their continued efforts in sensitizing the community in cholera preventive measures. Meanwhile, District Commissioner Geoffrey Kasonda says government has further engaged Angolan officials at the border on measures to improve sanitation services.
So in the ward we had only two patients for almost like 45 days ago. All these patients, one again was coming from Maseka village. In Chavuma, you know that Maseka village is just the hot spot of cholera. That's where cholera is. Our team, they went to sensitize that village. Then they did some disinfections. So we've seen a reduction in the number of the cholera in this area. As for today, we discharged all of them. There is no patient in the cholera. So the activities which we did during this week to sensitize in the market. Then we also went as far as, because what we are doing, we are trying to cut all those areas where the cholera is coming. We had two patients who were coming from Angola. What we did, we crossed, we started sensitizing our people from the border, all the security wings. We sat them together, then we sensitized them how to keep ourselves. Then we took some buckets there and some chemicals. Then apart from that, we went to Angola. On the immigration side, we also spoke to them. There were no measures.
Teen pregnancies have remained one of the major factors affecting the education of a girl child in Southern Province, with records standing at 27%. Southern Province Chief Nursing Officer Joyce Milimo says the trend is worrying and calls for quick multi-sectoral response.
Teenage pregnancies undermines girls' lives and compromises their opportunity to fully realize their full potential. Sadly, teenage pregnancies in Southern Province have remained high, with records standing at 27%. However, the Sweden Embassy, working with the Ministry of Health and other civil society organizations are implementing programs aimed at reducing the rate of teenage pregnancy in the province.
We have CEDA here, we have Action Aid as well, that are in the province this week. So we thought it wise that we start with, of course, your office, just pay courtesy, as we proceed with the other programs that we'll be doing within the province. Yeah. For us here, the project we're implementing was mainly focused on reducing teenage pregnancies that have been going up over the years.
We would like to thank the provincial support that would have been coming from you, allowing our partner to be able to do their work in the manner they did. I think that these programs are supposed to be anchored around government systems and government interventions so that we are basically contributing to government efforts.
It's good to see that the civil society organizations are working together with government, so that gives comfort in terms of sustainability of programs, but it's also good to see a lot of synergies when you talk about prevention of early marriages, teenage pregnancies, and we're also working through JUO with the Keeping Girls in School.
These interventions by cooperating partners has elated the Southern Province administration.
As provincial administration, we are very, very grateful for that support, so that that energy that the youths possess can be used a bit more productively and complement our development efforts. And of course, these interventions are complementing our generic plan, the 8 NDP, in a lot of ways.
As a province, at 27% teenage pregnancy, something which is really not very encouraging. So Southern Province has really suffered in terms of teenage pregnancy, and we are doing our best, but it hasn't been so easy. We would like to thank our cooperating partners.
Costa Kimdenda, Zanis, in Lampa District, Southern Province.
And in a related development, Lifeline Childline organization in Chadiza District has called on stakeholders to invest in the establishment of youth-friendly corners. Lifeline Childline District Programs Officer Clifford Musute says this will help address the increasing numbers of teen pregnancies, early marriages, and sexually transmitted infections in the district. Jubel Zulu now reports.
The adolescent girls have met to discuss sexual reproductive health. Chadiza continues to be hit with sexually transmitted infections, teen pregnancies, and early marriages. This is why some girls are taking a step to protect themselves.
I'm glad of the program which have brought for us, because here there is a high populated number of teenage pregnancies, STIs, defilement, and rape cases. I hope this program will reduce all the teenage pregnancies and STIs and early marriages for a better future.
Getting these girls together is not easy.
We meet from the clinic here in Chadiza. So far, the teaching has been good, though others refused to come because they thought when we started teaching each other about HRSR, they thought we were sending them back to school. But we are just teaching each other about reproductive health and see how we can prevent teenage pregnancies and the bad effects of early marriages.
An appeal has been made.
We want to urge other partners that are dealing with the programs and activities to do with the adolescents that we come on board to help our young people, especially the girls themselves. The best way would be us to open up the friendly corners, I think, around the district, where these young people can be meeting several times, that they're able to discuss issues that affect them. I think amongst the issues that affect them, it's issues with teenage pregnancies that are quite high.
Jubel Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza District, Eastern Province.
We now give you sports news, where Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts, Elvis Nkandu, says government is committed to promoting other sports disciplines other than football. The minister says if well-sponsored, other sports disciplines can win medals for Zambia at international tournaments. Nkandu has, however, said there is need for both government and the private sector to sponsor various sports activities to realize the potential that lies in sports disciplines. He says, resources permitting, government wants to support sports across all disciplines, especially in rural areas. Nkandu says sports talent in rural areas has been neglected for a long time and goes untapped due to lack of support, adding that government wants to change this scenario. The minister was speaking in Kalomo in Southern Province, where he is presenting football kits to football teams, as well as grants to youth entrepreneurs. Zambia women's national team coach Bruce Mwape has named his 30-member provisional squad for Ghana versus Zambia in the penultimate round of the 2024 Paris Olympic Women's Football Tournament qualifiers. Mwape has returned most of the players who completed the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON qualification task against Angola and added the FAS Women's Super League duo of defender Tabo Miselo and striker Florence Banda, who have stood out for the parliamentarians. Green Buffalo striker Kabange Mupopo has also made the cut to the Copper Queen squad for the first time in 8 years, alongside elite ladies midfielder Comfort Selemani, who missed the WAFCON qualifier matches against Angola in December. The first leg match against the Black Queens of Ghana will be played at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi on Friday, 23rd February, and will be followed by the reverse fixture 5 days later. The Copper Queens made a debut at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics Games after defeating Cameroon 2-1 in the final of the CAF Women's Olympic Tournament qualifiers. Skipper Barbara Banda scored a back-to-back hat-trick at the tournament, earning her a display of her name in the FIFA Museum. That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a reminder of the top stories. President Hichilema calls for Lobito Corridor project success. Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali calls for establishment of infrastructure that supports trade. Lumwana Kambimba Road project to commence this year. And Mwape names 30-member provisional squad for Ghana clash. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.